and hand it over to the runners.
Aqua's on the left. Ventus is in the
All right.
and
Yeah.
Terra's on the end. Please don't, please don't.
So as Freddie just said, Ventus won.
We're playing
Yeah.
man.
All right. All right, so what was the total between those three that was raised on that bid war? Like $4,000?
44.78.
Wow.
Thank you all. This was at $65 when that run started, and it is now over $1,700. That's crazy.
Real quick while we're loading the game up, Adam, you want to explain why you just had to switch your PS4 profile?
Yeah, so there are certain cutscenes in this game that are optional, depending on which character you play first, second, and third. So I have one profile set up for each character to skip cutscenes that you may get. Yeah.
I also wanted to very quickly give Kiwi behind me shout-outs because she was like ready to jump in and take my place on commentary on a moment's notice today because I was like pretty sick earlier, and I think she did a great job.
Thank God, because
when
then it
she
would have
did,
been
so-
just me here.
So thanks a lot, Kiwi, for helping out with that.
Yeah.
Some notes about a very important part of the game.
For anyone who may have
gonna hold
noticed, that
this
I
for
was
him.
question
He
2
needs to read.
because I forgot my notebook for this game. Had to run back to the hotel room to get it. So I'm going to use those now.
Yeah.
I'm Atzero, or as these guys will call me, Adam, and this is Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Critical Mode Level 1 Ventus, played on the Kingdom Hearts 1.5 plus 2.5 collection. And now I'm done with my notes.
PS4 Pro SSD. No more notes for the rest of the run.
Okay.
And the nice thing is, if you mess up,
Yeah.
So the funny thing is, with all this Kingdom Hearts speedrunning tonight, we're staying on level 1
Yeah.
as well. So whenever you guys are ready, we're going to not get any levels for a while.
While they're setting up, shout out to Chrono23.
yeah,
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Did-
Chrono
for-
23.
He's still alive.
Yeah. We see him once a year on camera, and it's right here.
Just to confirm he's still around. Where's Waldo books early?
Oh, I need to get to sleep during that interview.
Solid interview.
Yeah, thanks for running that one. I was supposed to help out with that. All right, well, whenever PX says we're good to go, we're good to go. So,
All
Adam.
right, so 3, 2, 1, go.
Woo!
Woo!
Ventus!
First time he's ever been in a marathon.
Yeah, this is, for those who couldn't hear Poexel behind me, this is the RPG Ventus everyone's been wanting since 2 years ago.
And now I choose Aqua.
I don't.
So, Ventus is Adam's least favorite because he has to actually move to him in the character.
Aqua's at the
Bam.
bottom. But Aqua's at the bottom, which is my favorite.
Yeah, but she's still shorter.
Anyway. So orbs.
Yeah, we start off with an orbs fight, which is really a big. Adam is actually one of the few people who's like, I'm never going to reset to this area. He tries to open off with a shot lock between 10 and 11 hits here. Then he's going to be trying to take out, that takes out most of the first wave. Take out the second wave as quick as he can. He doesn't often use too many commands here, other than maybe Strike Raid. Quick Blitz is useful for knocking one orb really far away, which can potentially knock it into the others. But like what just happened. So a quick shot lock there to chase that one down. Now he's going to be probably these kind of troll him a little bit. After
What knocks them away is either one of his commands, like a quick blitz or a finisher. So you can see, which can be nice for loading them as well.
Yeah,
so there you
that's
go.
fine.
Very nice.
Good
Yeah.
fight.
Good opening fight. Good opening fight. Yeah, that's right.
Now,
What's up,
memorize
orbs?
that UI in the bottom left, because we're going to talk about it real quick.
Yeah.
For those of you who are familiar with Kingdom Hearts, but not for Birth by Sleep, or are familiar with, or not familiar with Kingdom Hearts at all, this game uses a bit of a different way of your magic and stuff like that. What the game does is it gives you a series of commands, and it gives you a deck in which you can put those commands. And so it's kind of almost like a card system to a certain degree, where you're going to build your deck of commands, and those are the abilities and attacks you're doing during your fights. So right now he's going to actually be switching it up from his default deck to putting in sliding dash instead of, and also putting on 0 XP to make sure we stay at level 1 the whole run. Not only are we doing that because it's a fun challenge, but it's actually the fastest and do it on critical mode, the highest difficulty, and level 1. He's going to sell that quick blitz because we don't need it anymore, as well as the arrow, in order to buy a 3 ethers and a blizzard, right?
2 ethers and a blizzard.
3 ethers.
Oh, it was 3? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Looked like 2. Okay.
3 ethers and a blizzard. The blizzard's going to be useful later. The 3 ethers of this world. Mini chest there. It's going to be useful in the next fight, but also for selling later. And then he uses some specific space to break that first box, because normally if you get too close to some of these boxes, they start running around like crazy. This just did that weird like power-up animation thing. That put him into what is called a command style. When you use certain commands and build up that bar that you see above the command deck or below the words fever pitch, it'll put you into a different command style, which gives you access to different attacks like Surge. He now has built up that command bar again, the command gauge one more time, which lets him get to the finisher of the fever pitch command style, which is called fever pitch. He's going to save that finisher for this minecart coming up while he's still using only commands instead of regular attacks to take out the rest.
It's really kind of a beautiful routing exhibition going on right here.
There's the fever pitch finisher. Takes out that card in one shot as opposed to needing several commands. But yeah, continue on, Spike.
No, yeah, it's just like within this, there's so much routing to it like we like to use in RPGs. Just routing out when I'm going to get these hits as I'm building up this meter or this command gauge on the side. Make sure I save it for certain spots, you know, and then utilizing your different commands like sliding dash and strike raid.
Yeah,
very interesting.
It's also very annoying targeting that last box with all those slits surrounding it.
Right.
Yeah. Oh,
Making sure he doesn't lock onto that stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of intricacies to all that.
Mini and Blizzard that he got on that last area deck, so you can see on the left side they're now there. You also see that light blue bar moving to the right and almost completely filling up that bar until right now. That's because every time you use a command, it goes on cooldown for a while and has to actually recharge. And whenever you also put new recharge as well.
All right, so now he's got to escort. I'll let you probably get to a few more of the specifics, but the basic idea is if there are any of these unversed, which are the heartless of this game, move. Mini is a great ability because it makes them tiny, and then run over them, and they're going to die.
Yeah, and the main thing here is trying to like minimize the amount of time in which Snow White is near these trees, or stopped completely by the unversed, because if she's near the trees, then they'll actually come to life like this, and you'll have it. And so he's going to have to do that for both these trees here. He was able to skip the first one, though, which is really good, and not always, you know, super easy to do. He's now going to be progressing on, having to take out a few more floods here, which are the shadows of this game. And Snow White's going to walk up to this second to last set of trees.
Trying to push that guy out of the way because, again, you're seeing Snow White kind of ran past that.
Stood in front of Snow White for just a brief moment in order to make this go a little bit, make that kind of pop up and more.
Two more waves right here. Getting that minion, walk.
Yeah. Mini shrinks all your enemies. You can just walk right over them. Really nice.
I love Mini casually.
Yeah, Mini's pretty cool. And we're also done with Mini.
Yeah. Yeah, great ability. Bye.
You'll see he lines up his abilities really well, like Strike Raid and Blizzard, because it goes right through enemies, so you can get damage on 2 enemies at once or more, whoever's in the line of the attack.
Right. Now we're heading straight into the boss of this world. I'll let Spike talk a bit more of this.
Yeah, the Mad Trent boss. Basically, all those ethers, all 4 of them in this fight. Shotlock is this, it's pretty good for casual play, especially that meter down or that the Shotlock gauge down there in the bottom left corner. You see he can go up to 15. When he gets to 11, he wants to stop there. There's actually no difference between 11 and 15. So each time he uses the ether, it's going to refill up his focus gauge. He's going to get to use it again. By going to 15, all you're doing is just wasting more of your
So to talk more about the UI in the bottom right, as Spike is alluding to, there is a gauge down there. It says and it builds up over time by attacking and stuff, but also by using those ethers, which is why we bought so many of them. You're also invulnerable while using shot locks, which is really useful for when the boss jumps like that. And a couple attacks should finish him off. There we go. Good fight.
I had that sit direction since I forgot to get back on Ethan.
Okay. So right there you also notice one of the upgrades he just got there for winning that fight was upgrading his deck capacity. One benefit of being on critical mode is, and one of the big ones, is that you get 2 extra slots right at the beginning of the game. So where normally you would start with only 3, you start this with 5. The max you're going to get to is 8. So you just get to that maximum a lot earlier. You get a lot more options for how to cut through enemies' health. Now comes one of the just more frustrating parts of the run for sure. We're going to have to get a grind here.
Yeah,
you want to explain what he's
this
going
is the unfortunate part of the run. This is where your resets generally happen, and this is where he's, of course, going to get perfect or terrible luck because this is a marathon. Before that, though, he's going to be selling some of those commands we're not going to be using anymore, picking up another sliding dash, mainly 3 sleeps and some 3 blizzards and 4. And the sleeps won't come into play right away, but the blizzards will be pretty useful fairly soon. First, he needs to kill some floods here, because he's going to need to target one that's up above him. Yeah. And do a cool little attack like that to jump up there a little bit earlier than you're expected to.
Yeah, skipping over having to go around this whole other area down there to get up here.
Yeah.
Because what the game wants us to do is make Cinderella a new dress. So we have to come in here and get these 5 pieces, and normally you'd have to do a bunch to get up to there. Trick right there.
Yeah,
Still didn't fall down. He doesn't want to spawn any enemies.
Really difficult to skip that ledge grab there.
Now he's going to pick up, this is the second to last piece over there on the sofa.
And now he just used what's called a D-Link. Snow White's face, and you see this D-Link bar above Ventus's head going down and down. D-Links are kind of like your summons in this game, and you to start it, and then you can stay in the D-Link all the way until the bar goes completely down. Unlike the summons in Cage 1, you can actually extend the life of the D-Link by picking up blue little D-Link shards, as you'll see him walk over right now. What he's looking for during this grind, because you might think, why are we grinding? It's level 1. He's looking for those flower-type looking things, or stars, which are D-Link upgrades. So he reverted after getting that upgrade, and then picked up some more orbs to be able to too. And that upgrade gives him more abilities from that D-Link. He's also looking to get 4 fleeting crystals from this fight, or 3 minimum. He just got 2, right?
Yes.
And it turns out that the Snow White D-Link helps us get those upgrades. He's gonna have to get at least 1 more, which means he already knows he's gonna have to leave this room and come back, because only the shoegazers will give them to you. Kill all 6 in this room. However, he has 1 more D-Link he needs to upgrade as well. And unfortunately, the game's not being very nice, so he's still 2 D-Link upgrades away for Terra.
Yeah, 2 D-Link upgrades for crystal minimum. If he can get another one, it's beneficial.
The main reason we want the D-Link upgrades for Terra is for the boss of this world. But again, first she goes into Snow White because her command Grumpy is also the same as a command called Treasure Raid, which will allow when killing enemies.
And again, this technique he's using by reverting out, he's leaving these little like blue crystals on the ground, which that's what gives him back the D-Link. You need to have a full D-Link gauge to use another one.
So again, being in Terra is just because he wants those upgrades right now. He ideally would get another fleeting crystal, but it looks like it's not going to happen this time. He did, however, get that for Terra, so hopefully he can.
Yeah, he kind of jumped off instinctively, it looks like, to maybe possibly try to use Snow White.
He wanted to use zero
one.
gravity, but he didn't have zero gravity. Or did you not have it yet? Or
No, I forgot if he has it by default on level 1.
Right,
Level
yeah.
1. Got a Wellspring crystal drop there, that helps, right?
Okay, there's our
skip a
second
chest
upgrade. So the nice thing is he didn't quite get all of the fleeting crystals he wanted, but he got the minimum required number, and he's not gonna have to leave the room again or fight any more enemies.
Yeah.
I like how we completely ignored the fact that he was on a giant ball of yarn the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what he did right there is he's going into Terra and he's switching it to his level 1 finisher.
Yeah.
Which is going to help us stun this boss coming up, which is a big old cat. Yeah, it's PS4 did some interesting things to the looking for here is to get into critical health, which will allow us to do more damage with Sonic.
Yeah, due to the ability Berserk.
Right.
So he got hit there. I don't think.
No.
Yeah, that was not the
I wanted
damage
to
he
go
wanted.
for it once, but
Yeah. He could just bail out of it and go into the Sonic Ray, but it's not going to be dealing nearly
Right.
as much damage.
Adam, like due to the estimate he gave and everything, he really wants to show off, as many strats as he can. So don't be surprised if we see those kinds of things sometimes where he just goes for it. So again, in the Terra D-Link, and now this is where PS4 tainted this fight horribly. He's going to be stun locking this boss though, and then constantly using the Sonic Blade to just hit him right in the butt.
Yep. PS4 exclusive, man.
Now he uses the finisher from the Terra D-Link to be able to keep that stun lock going while he's waiting for the 2 Sonic Blades in the deck to come off cooldown. Okay.
Yeah, again, this will be doing more damage if he had gotten into crit health, but you need to get lucky with how Lucifer hits you. So,
But still finished him off.
yeah, there's both that slap down on the ground, then there's like a swipe he can use. I think
Yeah,
ideally
you
wanna
want
see-
him to do the swipe 2 times, but he didn't do it.
Yeah. Or at least 1 out of 2. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go here to all the characters start off with these 3 worlds are unlocked: Dwarf Wood and the Castle of Dreams.
Even though they actually do them in all different orders.
Right.
So we mentioned you picked up the slide dashes before. As you can see, they're really useful for movement. That's pretty much the main reason we've got them. They are fairly nice for some gap closing in fight. It's just because of this movement.
And you want to make sure that enemies aren't on screen, otherwise Ventus or whichever character you're using, instinctively wants to attack the enemy that's on screen. A little minor piece of tech to it is you actually want to use the sliding dash and end while hitting an enemy, which makes you land on the ground faster, and then you can start moving forward sooner.
Yeah.
It's supposed to that little float to the ground at the end.
It's a really cool thing that he'll go for a lot, especially right here, although these enemies have been dodging him lately. There it is. Went right through him, so you see he had to float to the ground. Super minor, but one of those cool little speed tech things.
So Nook's to explain in the next fight why the Terra D-Link has a downside.
Yeah, so even to upgrade gives you this passive ability called Auto Guard, which is pretty cool because it'll just guard enemy attacks for you without having to press square. In this game, you do get guard by default, so you can't guard things. However, in this fight, it will get you killed, unfortunately, because there are attackers in this fight, and if your auto guard from the Terra D-Link turns on while you're in front of a melee guy and an archer hits you from behind, you're gonna die. So going into the Terra D-Link again to use the Sonic Blade here.
They're going to be kind of spawning staggered, like, from each side.
Nice D-Link drop again.
Let's go
That
for
was
level 3.
auto-going.
Yeah. So that wasn't him pressing square at all. That was just the Terra D-Link does that for you. Now, he wants to have these enemies grouped up when using the finisher that gets built up after the Sonic Blade, because it does kill quite a few of them very easily.
And to know, for anyone who wondered, again, it denotes whether you have the upgrades. If you look at Terra's icon right above Ventus, he's got the 2 little circles, those 2 other little icons with him. That's the max each D-Link can be. And again, that changes a lot of just the stuff that can be in each of their decks, the pre-made.
So this fight's going pretty well so far. He hasn't been really trolled by Auto Guard too much. Well, I had to say something. You can be hit out of your Sonic Blade, and it's pretty scary.
To note, the D-Link gauge is getting pretty low. Once that runs out, he's going to lose this Terra D-Link.
Yeah,
Should have him
actually.
almost done. Ish.
Yeah, last
Finisher should hopefully almost take him
Oh,
out.
right.
There we go.
Yeah, barely held on to that long enough. Both for Ventus and Aqua are very, very annoying. Some of the most dangerous enemies in the game. Because everything 2-shots you. It's level 1 again.
Just like level 1 in KH1, you could die to basically anything. You where he's going to be doing something called melding. This is basically your fusion in the game. You level up your commands as you keep them equipped and fight enemies. And so he is melding to his blizzards bleeding crystals that he picked up earlier in order to both get a Blizzara out of each one and also have that Blizzara have a special ability on it called Magic Haste. And that just makes your magic ability or your magic commands come off cooldown quicker. Because he only got 3 fleeting crystals earlier instead of the 4 that he was hoping for, he's gonna die.
Full health, smacked him and he's dead.
So he had to go get an optional, or not optional, but he had to go get a chest that he was unlucky earlier, and that's why we hate doing it, because you can easily die while trying.
Try this again. All right.
Almost got hit by an Ultra.
Yeah, I noticed that. So now he slide dashes over and picks up a Tornado Strike, which we're never actually going to equip, but just use for selling.
Sells for like 1,350 money or something.
In the meantime, he's on his way to the worst fight. The only real thing to explain about this before we get into the fight is that if you look at his command deck right now, you see a balloon letter. You see that balloon? You see that balloon letter? The balloon letter is an item.
That'd make you look bad.
It's an item that will refund your D-Link gauge. So he's going to do that. Let's get in one fast donation, Freddie, before this fight starts.
Okay, looks like we have a $25 from Kyle Denny. As streamer, do you get Ultimate Weapon this run? Towards Biz's run. All jokes aside, money goes towards Ven because who wants to see Bland Girl or Anakin Skywalker in KH?
All right, so he threw that balloon letter to get his D-Link back, then going into the Snow White D-Link. The main reason here is that it's got a really nice finisher that we can use to damage Maleficent a lot. And it turns out that getting into crit health will actually fill your command gauge in Snow White. He had a little bit unfortunate timing with his attack there. He was hoping to force Maleficent out of that, that attack. And now he's sitting in the center. If he stays near Maleficent here, he knows that he'll slap him twice. So there's the second one, and he can use the Sweet 7 finisher from Snow White. The third time she will teleport in place, and then the fourth time she teleports away and will do something random, often Thunder. So now we hit her again to force her to teleport away. What we want is for Maleficent to teleport to the top. She's unfortunately constantly teleporting to the middle. It's the second best option here. And if he ever moved while she's in the center, she'll use this long sleep attack. Whoa,
that can happen.
Knocking her up is actually pretty nice, but now, now she's going to use her Galaxy DM. This is really scary, and yeah,
this is a good idea because he only needs the end of it for some damage, and this will give him iframes through it.
So now, hopefully, before she teleports, nice.
I hate this fight.
That almost looked like the next one starting that hit her.
Yeah. I learned these 3 categories just kind of building up to Lindbergh, and Adam was always in a call with me, always very nice. This is your least favorite fight across all these characters, and he said that one right there.
To not have a death on that is pretty awesome, not gonna lie.
It's simply because of how little control you have in the fight.
And you don't have a cure once you're into Snow White's D-Link, right?
You do, but you can't
But it
use
would pull you out of your crit health.
Yeah.
Okay, so those sleeps we put on earlier, Habs, why do we have those sleeps on?
Yeah, so it's kind of weird that 2 out of the 3 characters can really cheese their fights with and this just happens to be with the one that we're going to. The first he's going to actually die because this is a forced, kind of death.
What's nice about crit is cool, we did it. All right, we died.
You either have to deal a certain amount of damage or just phase. And now in the second phase, he's going to use keep Vanitas completely stun locked.
And let Mickey do basically all the damage here.
And the main reason is that Vanitas, when you do attacks, he can just ignore your attacks or he can teleport out of them. So now that he's got him slept once, he's going to stagger his sleeps a little bit to constantly keep him slept and constantly have a sleep off of cooldown. So attacks and a sliding dash there to get into the fever once again that we saw. That is just so he can get a little bit of extra chip damage in between all these sleeps. Whereas in reality, Mickey is doing the majority of the damage in this fight.
Your party members are actually very useful throughout these damage, actually.
And now that he has the fever up, he wants to make sure that he actually doesn't use it and he just lets Mickey do all the damage until he gets Vanitas very low.
This timing is also more tight than you would think to keep this in sleep. And
Yeah,
see
there you
ya.
go. Adam recently introduced a 4th sleep instead of a 3 sleep method. It's much nicer, and it was a really good routing decision.
Because it's a lot of it is the spacing of how long it'll on cooldown to make sure it's spaced properly.
So now we're going to Radiant Garden, which is Hall of Bastion, for those who are familiar with that. It's also more or less your hub world, I'd say. You don't really come games, but
Also, this part's awesome.
yeah, that's just a thing you can do.
Went to the Cinderella D-Link, and she has a command called...
You
Yes.
got
Good
it.
job.
I had to learn that a couple times.
It took
so we
2
got a
weeks.
circle or whatever. She's got 3, and I couldn't remember it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Enchanted Step is kind of similar to Slide Dash in that it kind of charges at your enemies. But if it turns out that if your enemy that you're locked onto is really high above you, then Enchanted Step will just go flying up in the air like you saw. That's going to come into play one more time later in the run.
So I remember while walking to this chest, I didn't.
that you got you gonna ask. I was
I
like,
didn't
is this the
notice it.
wellspring?
Yeah, it was as I was walking towards it. I remember.
Yeah. Wellspring Crystal is one that you can get during the grind, but don't always get consistently. So
And that's another for I believe once more.
It's once more a second chance. I know.
One or the other, yeah.
The
We'll explain
sustainability.
what those are because we didn't really get into it with Business Run because that was not a part of Kingdom Hearts 1.
more commands. This is where even if you had a bad grind, it can kind of help you out because you could sell more binds that you might have picked up. And buying some magnets and some thunders.
Yeah.
And this is going to be ways of dealing with any unversed mob fights. He's also putting on high jump, which is just nice, and lets you grab some ledges you otherwise couldn't.
So the unfortunate thing with magnets and thunders, what's great about them is you can control mob fights much better. You're gonna throw up a magnet, it keeps thunders, and like, yeah, it just sucks them all up. Magnets, though, are pretty weak, just kind of range-wise. You have to get right in the middle of a bunch of enemies. We're trying to build them up in order to put 2 magnets together and 2 thunders together to get Magneras and Thundaras.
Yeah, because to level up as you use them in combat, or not even use them, but just have them equipped in combat. So you can see Flame Salvo, which is how did that guy live?
Good question.
With like all this hell.
Flame Salvo leveled up. We'll be seeing the Magnets and Thunders level up really soon. Goes into Mickey D-Link here because Mickey has 2 sliding dashes. That's all.
That's the only reason why we ever use them. And again, you're sitting here maybe thinking like, oh, okay.
There's
well,
the level
yeah.
up, by the way.
You're not, but you are leveling up those commands.
Yeah. Because normally you can also level up your character.
You also lied. We used Mickey D-Link for 1 fight.
You got time for a quick
That's
donation?
Yeah,
Sure.
real
Yes.
fast. Or
Okay.
actually, you got a couple.
Okay, so we got Ramsrock39, $5. Go Adam Go. Even though, as you know, I'm depressed we get the one character that doesn't fight him. Here are your magic mirror emotes I promise I'd send. Good luck on the run. How unfortunate. Mirror Chance has a Mirror OP. Mirror doesn't have Spirit of the Magic Mirror.
Oh, jeez.
So all those fleeting crystals you picked up in the grind, if you put them with those Magneras and those Thundaras, the benefit of it is that it gives you magic
Yeah,
hits.
even more than the 2 we did earlier.
Right.
So now his magic comes off cooldown pretty fast.
Yeah.
And now we come into the second worst fight, most likely, of the run, which is
In all 3 of the character's stories, he's kind of the midway boss in a lot of ways. And Adam thinks this is by far the worst for Ventus.
Yeah, the main thing about this fight is that something about the ports to PS3, PS4 added invisible hitboxes into this fight, and so occasionally some invisible lasers and stuff. So it's just not a fight. Here is he's going to dash at all 3 of the characters and always in the same order. So Adam knows that he's free to get into this new command style called Thunderbolt and build all the way up to that Thunderbolt finisher. Now the Trinity Armor is going to use this laser attack, and he's going to dodge. He's going to dodge roll through it the second time, which is very precise timing. He's now going to dodge roll through it again and try to break as many pieces as he can. If he gets luckier, he can kill the legs quicker, but he killed the torso, which is really nice. And now he's killed the legs, so that's already pretty fast. Because this can kill him very easily.
And
He's
he's
mashing guard
invincible
out.
during those white lasers.
And now there's one more laser attack from just the head. He's looking at the shadow here because it turns out the Terra and Aqua will actually push Ventus on, like away from his current position and potentially right to the laser.
Which is a one-shot.
He also used Blizzard primarily in that while he was building up that command gauge in order to get into the Diamond Dust command style, which just does a little bit more damage with his finisher than the Thunderbolt 1 does. Now this attack can be a little scary, so he's using the Flame Cell to actually finish him off.
Yeah, ideally you kill him. He had more than half of our health left, so it wouldn't have killed him, and I'd likely die from being that close to him.
You rely on a lot of damage from your party members in that fight, and since that's not consistent, he didn't want to risk going for the Diamond Dash finisher right away.
Yeah. And that first spinning around laser attack that he did when he had all three of his parts. For Aqua and Terra, they just have a lot more ways to deal a lot more damage there. So you usually can kill him right as he's about to start that laser phase. Adam right there had to see all of it, basically.
So now he's going back into Mickey D-Link again, using a cool mechanic of entering a command style zips you to the ground, or D-Link rather, zips you to the ground. And then he used the one dash from Mickey there. Now we go into the last fight of Radiant Garden, which is
mob fight.
Force mob fight.
And you'll be able to see more so, again, we leveled up all those Magnets and Thunders earlier. Now they really come to the general vicinity of Vanitas. That's going to catch them all, which is great for these idiots.
Ventus.
Ventus, what I just said, Vanitas.
Yeah,
Whatever.
it's confusing. We would talk about the story, but we don't want it.
We have a $25 donation from Bullfrog. Party on Wayne. We also have a $150 donation from Anonymous and another $100 donation from Anonymous. I love what you guys are doing. Keep it up.
Yeah, cool little strat at the end there with the Magnet.
Yeah.
Thunderbolts.
Because that one tank taking so long to come in with the vest, I had to use Thunderbolt.
Yeah, that's why he kind of waits there for a second to allow them to, because they're naturally going to come towards you.
Yeah. Magnet in this game works pretty similar to how it does in like Kingdom Hearts 2, where anytime an enemy re-enters a magnet, it will take damage. Even though it's not a lot of damage, it takes damage every time it enters it. So if you have 4 enemies in a magnet, they're all constantly pushing each other out of it, especially when you use to push them out of the magnet even further. So they'll constantly in the magnet, and it's a real good time. Mickey D-Link again for some sliding.
Sad music.
Oh yeah, do we want to ask
2 seconds of sad music.
want to ask Chad about a Keyblade take quick?
Oh,
you guys
sure.
You guys can explain how Keyblades mean nothing in this game on level 1.
Yo, Freddy, can you pop up that Twitch chat real quick? What's just pick a Keyblade they want us to use. If they don't know what it's exactly called, just one from one of the worlds. Because yeah, so your Keyblade you have on level 1 does not matter. On right now is his base Keyblade, and he would in a normal run have that on the rest of the game. So first Keyblade we throw it on. We get to do this mini game.
Well, before we do the
Looks
mini
like the
game,
first one was
Oh
Ultima.
yeah.
How about Oblivion?
So this is an awesome trick.
Fairy
Explain
stars.
it real quick.
Fairy stars we have.
Fairy Stars it is. Okay.
So we're going to use that enchanted step again, as well as some very precise manipulation of that up here. So now he's picked up the ability Super Glide. Normally, you would have to have Glide to actually get Super Glide, and you would have to go through like the sewer area and stuff to like get over there. But instead, we could just do that and sequence break it. It's really cool.
Yeah, so it doesn't actually save a ton of time having Super Glide. It wasn't even a strat on PS3.
Yeah.
So much better on PS4.
And now everyone's favorite minigame.
This is the best minigame of all time.
Ventus is the minigame character. So
Should we just try to talk a lot to see if we can mess Adam up during the minigame?
I think we could. So, yeah.
I think it's really good when you tell people that their timing is really off a lot. And you need to make sure that you press it like now and earlier and later.
Screw it up. Yeah,
all that kind of thing.
We were out there. Like, I was out there and Cosmic was playing DDR. I'm pretty sure he was just like just smacking the ground a lot. This is just like a story I'm even telling right now. It's kind of crazy.
All jokes aside, he's going for 1,100 points here. That's all he needs. Around 1050 or so is actually all he needs to get to progress the game from here. So I already don't think we messed him up even enough to.
His combo's
Be at a
full
combo.
right now, so
Yeah, if I don't miss a combo, it's
Yeah.
a pretty free minigame.
yeah.
So this is the shortest of the 3 like mini games you have to do for the characters.
From Trinity on with the last boss, we don't fight another boss for about 15 minutes.
And the reason why he wasn't just bad there at the end, he intentionally just gave it up because it's a little instead of like excellent.
Fantastic,
Fantastic.
yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, the less ice cream that's on the screen when it zooms out, the less time it stays on them.
Oh, okay.
So save
But yeah,
frames.
this is why Adam was like, Ventus is not.
A mob fight, a boss minigame, and then you end the run with another boss minigame.
What's rough? What's worst about this fight? Again, you got these Magneras, these Thundaras, cool. Zac and Herc can knock them out of your Magneras and Thunders, just away from range of them. So you'd rather they just don't do anything. We're back to the cage style of I hope my party members just leave the fight.
On top of that, we're also trying to still level up commands. And if the party members actually take the kills, then we don't get the experience on our commands. It looks like we're totally fine though.
Those jellies are some of the absolute worst enemies in the game because if they decide to come one shot.
A few more to finish off this fight.
That should...
And there we go.
Nice.
So now all that's going to happen is he's going to have to do a little bit of an earn mini game similar to Cage 2. He's going to have to do it in 2 phases. The first one, he only has to get 15 points, and then that's it. It's just kind of proving himself. The second one, he actually needs to beat Hercules, but it's really easy to beat Hercules. So we've got quite a bit of time for donations right after he gets on this barrel here. Bam.
Bam.
Okay.
Start the duel.
So first we got. I have the high ground, Anakin.
Okay.
We got 3. This is from Business. I'm Kurt Ziza %.
He took your barrel.
We have $25 from LLK. LLK here's swirly. I'm Nomura's head 24/7. I noticed French Toast donated to name Valaford Jazz in World of Final Fantasy, but the name fell behind for a bit. Hey look, I'm a total attention seeker. Help me get that name into a commanding lead, everyone. It's for a great cause after all. We have $20. I just can't let Ventus win. I need to get some Terranort in my life. Unfortunately, you were unsuccessful, sorry to say. Also, good job to everyone at the event.
Real quick, if you're a fan of like Ratchet and Clank, that's actually James Arnold Taylor voiced Hercules, which I always thought was kind of cool. He does a lot of Disney characters.
What? He was a jerk there, though. He knocked you out.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so we have a $50 donation from the Lazy Geek. Adam,
Hello, Connor.
just so I can say I tried, here's $50 towards Aqua.
Thanks,
And as a
Connor.
wide said, it's like a that you actually get a deal. Skills are young bands when animals gone home and in command to speed and thank you.
What?
Good luck on the run. That's what I read.
I don't even.
That sounds like Connor.
I don't even. Finally, we have $30 from Insano. Hey all, a cause and to be a little heartless and make sure that Venrun has to be done. Why can't Ventus do cartwheels? He's unversed in physical activities. I'll
The
see myself
puns.
out.
You still got 45 seconds, man. Keep
This is
it
a
rolling.
Let's do
46
this.
minute speed run and 49, and 3 of it is this.
We have $20 from Anonymous. We have $5 from Dell. So finally, the Eventus we have been waiting for. Question mark.
The event. Yes.
I think that might have been a typo. Not sure. I'll have to ask Dell later. We have one that I'm going to really try to pronounce correctly from Jersiv for $2. Das letzte Mal Monstreicher bei Germensch, das ist der Chaos, die eine oder andere Spende wert. Danke für die jahrelange Mitarbeit und Rummel. P.S. Duri heißen. Ein Rummel Hitted the reviled child. Thank you.
I recognize your mensch,
yeah.
Vivi, and
Yeah.
Yeah, good job.
I bet Greetings from Germany was in there somewhere.
Somewhere, for sure.
So the characters in this game have some unique walking animations.
Yeah, he was just showing that off during it. All right, so now, all right.
Doing money.
Yeah, that was weird. He had to sell a few commands because he didn't have a lot of money from earlier. So now he picked up an Asuna and a new block, which means he's going to be able to meld some more things, including a Thunder to get a Thundara. Ooh, and Asuna and block to get a Renewal block. I do think crystals to put on those, which would also give him HP boosts, but he didn't get either.
Yeah, they dropped from the Floods, the basic enemy in this game, and I didn't get a single one.
It's pretty rare. So less HP than normal, but hopefully shouldn't be a problem.
Real quick, what's runner's choice?
Sora medal in World of Final Fantasy. We need to extend
Yes.
the KH block.
Yeah.
And no heart was met through all of
It
that,
was,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Awesome.
So we put so much on the bid for it. So right here, Magnet's actually better than ever using Thundara or anything. He also wants to stay away from hurt. He doesn't want to attack or anything because he might end up using his reaction command.
Yeah, I can never dodge roll in this fight because of the command, which just wastes time.
So Magnet does. These all have very low health, so he can move around, just kill enough like that.
I also have to admit, changing Keyblades, the sound effect threw me off at first. I'm not used to getting a different Keyblade.
All right, so one more world in this set.
Yep. Heading where we get our minigame boss that that Adam was talking about. Really terrible minigame. It really sucks. You have to just constantly hit this guy. It's a set number of hits that will force him, like force the minigame to end. But he can use this attack, which is where he can use the charging attack. He might do it again because you staggered him. Yeah.
Again,
It's
he has
really
no
easy to get hit out of that.
He's dead, and he has to do it again.
Yeah, and if it's very easy to hit by again. There's actually
Can explain how well he does at trying to hit that boss.
It is terrible. Like, you can't tell from watching that. Go try to hit that guy
Did you get a
with
pulse?
how the camera is
know.
moving
Just-
around and trying to aim at him. It's really, really bad.
yeah. So now using a lot more Super Glide too because we've actually equipped it.
Pause of shame.
Nice, nice. I gotta give
the
you
only
crap because
cutscenes you can't skip.
I didn't pause on that like in any practice run recently when we were racing, and I had to give him so much crap because he always did it.
Congrats, you haven't been running 2 other characters.
Thank you for calling him out on that. Magnets and Thunders. Let's call him out on that.
Yeah. So Magnets and Thunders, like Spike said, but it's also important to kind of like to note this corridor is fairly long, and he can't really get everything in one magnet from the center. Not always, anyways. So he has to move back and forth between that.
Wingblade is the best command style.
What
just
an
because of how it
amazing
looks.
looking.
It's so cool to use it again. He's also never going to use the finisher unless he just wants to prove me wrong.
Final enemy.
He'll do it in the final wave, probably.
It's also important to note these big bulky enemies. It's really important to get them in the Magnets and Thunders. If you hit them 3 times from the front,
There's the finisher.
this $5 for you later. It's
Hey,
important.
pause the shape, that one.
If you hit them 3 times from the front, they'll start rolling around until they explode, and you cannot get them out of it. Which not only like that could kill you, it also you lose the CP, which is the experience for all of your commands you're leveling up. So.
Oh, cool. That's new because I haven't seen really do that very much. Where again, using the fact that going into a command style or I keep saying that D-Link will drop you straight quickly as possible, and then he has 2 sliding dashes available. Although you only need 1 right there.
Simplifies the movement there a little bit, just going straight up effectively.
Oh, okay. So that now ordinarily his sliding dash would be on cooldown, but because he used that D, that's really cool. Heading into the boss of Deep Space,
First
which is
boss in 15.
saw out in space, but now we're going to actually kill it. And the main thing about this boss is that it's still really, really dangerous. However, the game put this convenient pillar in the middle of this arena So he's going to keep using Ignite, which is a damage over time command, right? And a lot.
Stitch is actually hitting him, which is uncommon.
Yeah, a
for this
lot,
fight.
I know.
Yeah.
He's doing work back there.
You want Stitch to do some damage just to speed the fight up, but it's just, we don't normally expect it to happen.
Right. Ignite, to note, does not stack. If you use it, just reset the timer.
This is one of the dangerous moves that can
It wanted
one-shot
to.
you. So
I
that's
just
what we're talking about, even
Yeah.
if it might not look like it a lot.
attack you unless it sees you. So if you can stay behind the pillar well, it peeked.
That's
I
an
peeked out.
unfortunate time.
So one more shot at this and Ignite to start it off.
But yeah, it doesn't.
Of course, now Stitch isn't going to do anything.
I can see what he's actually like. Well, he's shooting at him, but it's not hitting.
Yeah. Now he's not even shooting at him.
Yeah, he's trying to do his reaction command. He really wants me to go help him.
Oh, that's what that noise
Yeah,
is.
There. So yeah, Ignite does not stack, so he has to space. He's throwing up one as the other one's kind of finishing up.
Yeah. Also, you saw the lock-on kind of disappear a couple times there. Locking on is weird in this game. If you get too far away, it turns off, and also just some other things like target switching can happen. It's very odd, and you got to be careful to keep on top of it.
Ignite can't kill, so
Yeah, good job.
also BBS has some great music. I'm just throwing that out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, all the Kingdom Hearts series has some pretty good music.
Mhm.
So now we're heading over to Neverland.
Final
which
Disney World.
is really where a lot of the coolest strats start to come out, because we've only been using Mickey Mouse D-Link for movement so far, but we're actually going to get to see its use in combat at the final boss of this area.
The boss
And it
hill
will-
is one of those fights that if it doesn't go well at the beginning, I'll just die and try again.
Yeah. It's one of those times where it's like, it's just better to execute the strat right than to try to improv something on the fly.
Yeah.
Plus,
And
it,
it
just
looks
really
amazing.
cool.
Yeah, you want to use it. You want to be shown
Before
off.
that, he's going to kill a group of enemies here in order to level up his commands one more time. There it is. 3, which is what he was looking for. Generally, in order to meld the commands, you need to get them to their maximum level, or at least past level 1 for some of them. And now he's going to do a menu where he's going to go ahead and meld to those Magnera from earlier. And that's going to give him 1 Magnega, which is going to be very useful. And he's putting on, oh, sorry, the Blazars, not Thundaras from earlier. He's putting on certain crystals, the Wellspring and the Pulsing that we picked up earlier, to get once more.
Yeah, it was originated in Kingdom Hearts 2, and it was basically a way to always give you a second chance by basically a bunch of things putting you at 1 health. If something would do more than your maximum amount of health, or at least your max health, it will put you at 1 health, no matter what. Even if you're at 2 health, you'll be put to 1. Or if something would do like a combo of hits, which is where once that will put you also, you'll stop at 1 hit, even if you get hit a million more times, until you lose your iframes from that.
And that's going to be really useful later on. For this fight now, because she has something called Bashful, which is actually the warp. It kills, give you any experience for them, but we don't need the experience because we're level 1. So it's really nice, but it's also random. So you can have like a 3 warp fight, or you can have like a 15 warp fight.
It was below average.
Yeah.
And a little subtle thing at the end, he actually reverted at the very end as he threw up the last swing, so that he would be out of it and get the D-Link crystals, so he could fill up his D-Link on the next boss fight.
Yep.
Other letter or something right now.
Before that, we have to move over to the boss fight. We have to go through a set of rocks here. It's kind of cool tech he's going to try to go for, which is sliding dashing through it. He got through it on the second attempt.
Sick clip. I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it goes the first try, sometimes it's second, sometimes you have to wait for the slide dash to actually explode it. But now we're into the hook boss fight. This is a really precise one, so I'm going to try to explain it as intricately as I can. Just going to start off with an empty swing right at the beginning here, then dodge roll closer to hook, hit him again, try to wait for him to fall off the edge and hit him to knock him completely off. Use the ignite, prep his second ignite, get into Mickey D-Link, hit him, slide and dash, hit him, slide and dash, hit him, and now he should get hit once, putting him into that Mickey finisher, which look at that health bar, does an insane amount of damage.
It's not
If
going
we
to kill.
get
Get the kill with that, but this is going to be presence will not kill you if you're on the ground, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they will not kill you if you're on the ground, but if you're in
on
the
the
water,
ground or not moving in the water. If you're moving in the water, they
will. But he's going to try it again. He just wanted to show off the full effect of the Mickey D-Link. So all he's using. Yeah, sometimes hook is a little weird with if you're not attacking quick enough or you're attacking too quickly. He can not do what you want him to do, where he staggers and
I
falls
still have
off.
no idea Keyblade affects this fight until loaded in.
That's a good point. Okay, so there we go. We're going to hopefully get it this time. It's a lot of kind of precise. And the hit he takes there is intentional to fill up that command gauge.
a lot of this is just hoping Captain Hook doesn't push you off the island, because it'll just be more on his level.
We have no idea why it does or doesn't kill sometimes.
Yep. We barely know why it even like does that much damage. It's again, all the games have like these weird quirks with abilities, and once here it's trying to scale your damage up, but hits so many times in that finisher.
So count the number of cutscene skips to help you guys out. We're at 2 right now.
2.
Okay.
So donations.
Yeah, read donations during this.
So we have a $10 donation from Vicio. Hope KH 1.5 went well, and good luck to Atzero. Think you guys are doing a great job and giving me tons of odds to check out. Donation goes to Runner's Choice. Just as a reminder, we are doing this to support NAMI, the National Alliance. You can head to NAMI.org in order to understand how they are striving to raise awareness of the difficulties that those who suffer. This is especially good to mental health. Join in the conversation on Twitter using hashtag mental health month. Stigma free. Are we at 16 yet?
Nope.
We're at 12. So
12.
4 more
Okay.
coming up.
Right now, we're just going to be moving over there. The only thing to note, over to the boss of this area, which is actually the beginning of the final bosses of the game. This run's almost over at this point. The only thing to note here is that if he hits any of these tornadoes, they'll actually force a fight with multiple waves. It's really slow, but Super Glide makes it really easy.
One reason why the NA version is better than JP for this game.
Yeah, for some reason, I just move faster. It's really
Only
weird.
on PS4.
Yeah.
It's
Please
60
fix.
FPS. The 60 FPS change makes the tornadoes move twice as fast, but they fixed it before releasing the NA version.
Please fix Square.
So we're at 12 cutscenes still, but
So as a reminder, we do have some prizes still available for the end of this marathon. Available right now, we have the Final Fantasy 15 soundtrack.
I'm actually going to cut you off right there because we're on the final 2 bosses right here.
Yep, so this is Vanitas 2. He starts off using a shot lock, 15, because it gives him just a lot of iframes or invulnerability, as well as pushes him out of that attack. He's now going to get into Peter Pan D-Link, use the command counter rush to build up that Peter Pan command gauge on the left side of your screen. Yep, so now he has Sword Bill, the Peter Pan finisher built up. This is one of the most broken abilities in this game.
Because of
EXP 0.
It's like
yeah.
Mushu.
So now, see ya!
Oh,
No, he's coming
Okay.
up. Yeah! He'll always come back up out of there. Adam has to be careful about, he'll kind of fake you out that jump back. He wants to make sure it's the jump straight up in the air because he's going to go down and come back up. Don't worry. That goes for like 130 hits, so there will be some hits left
so
over.
now we're on to the fight to it. In the first part, Adam's letter that he has immediately to refill his D-Link gauge. He's then going to use Peter Pan, most likely after getting hit. He's now going to hit him twice and then start provoking with single hits until he teleports. at which point he'll guard and counter rush again. The guard doesn't always, or the counter rush doesn't always. Now his sword built up, so he's waiting for a specific move from Vanitas, and he's being a bit of a troll right now. And he can't attack him right now because he'll accidentally use sword build, and Vanitas would get out of it. He might die here. Yeah,
that was
Wasn't using the attack I needed.
Yeah, you need to wait for him to specifically use an attack in which you know you'll be able to deal all of the sword build damage with, because this one is really close in terms of how much damage it takes to kill him.
And get ready on time, because again, this is the final boss fight.
Yep.
There's a little bit of a mini.
Yeah. So now he doesn't have to use the balloon letter because he died, so he got his D-Link refilled. But still back into Peter Pan, getting those single hits for the teleport, counter rush, guard, counter rush. He's gonna hit him. He'll do it. Okay. And sword build. So,
He's still going.
Vanitas is at 1 health.
He's still going.
Yeah. So now we're into a minigame. I'm going to shut up for 1 second. Okay.
Thank you.
There's an attack that he can do right away. And you need this is the minigame end to this fight. And Vanitas is kind of trolling him right now. You need to kind of wait for him to start attacking.
Yeah.
And you want to just constantly use shot and gauge.
Yeah, you're effectively in a Vanitas D-Link right now as you're going. There is one attack he could use. It's kind of rare. Hopefully, point, because that's the only thing Shotlock can't help you out again.
Okay,
Nice.
so now this is the last shot. Like build up that command gauge, and finisher lands. It will be timed, so get ready.
It rarely
It can whiff, but
I look over at Adam. He's like, eh.
he's like, eh.
Didn't die on Maleficent.
Yeah, I know. That's what
Didn't die in Maleficent. Yeah.
you did that in Maleficent or Trinity armor, but Hook was a jerk.
I got some. And I just use Peter Pan everywhere.
So-
We just got him at the end of Neverland.
So Adam is showing this final screen for 2 reasons. One, because the in-game time is actually pretty close. It's pretty cool. And the other is that I said I would donate $1 for every enemy he defeated. So that's 403 enemies. $403.
To know if Aqua won, it'd be about 200. If Terra won, it'd be around 650.
Yeah. a little bit for that. And then Biz died 6 times, which added $600 to it. So.
Whoops.
So yeah, that's right into the incentive, the no heart fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
He has to switch profiles for.
Which is best set up with, I'm assuming you're going to be using Aqua here.
Yes.
Yeah, best set up with Aqua here. We're also going to be seeing a mechanic that we never saw in the Ventus, or we also would not have seen in the Terra playthroughs, called Ice Cream. So you're noticing all these command styles that he was going into.
Fever Pitch, Thunderbolt, Diamond Dust. all
Yeah,
that
even
kind
the
of stuff.
D-Link stuff as you're building up. I mean, those are command styles, but you understand the point. If you just have this stuff, which we're going to have, it's a specific style called Daisy Sorbet. He can throw them. If you throw one, instantly will fill up your gauge and will put one called Rhythm Mixer, and he throws one more, and he'll instantly fill up that gauge and have the finisher at his disposal.
So, Spike, I enjoy Kadabra and Daisy Sorbet, but not Enchanted Step.
He likes ice cream,
It looks
man.
like a wishing circle, right? You have a circle of wishingness.
I think it's just
Anyways.
because he wants some ice cream.
On a serious note.
Does anyone get
Wait, Spike, what did you call Descend Heartless Angel at first?
Shut up!
What? Wait, what? I didn't hear that. What was it?
Say it's Spike.
Harvest Moon, which makes no sense.
All right. Well.
All right.
I got
Also, if you
complaints
like
about my
the
armor,
silver
so.
staff, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can change your armor color. I didn't know that until he did it right now. I just thought her armor.
This white looks better. So
Okay.
I changed it.
Glad you listened to them. All right, cool.
Okay.
So yeah, you want to explain what the Mirage Arena is? Well, you can just let us.
It's the Olympus.
Had a bunch of
That's
things.
about it.
All right, so there's going to be 2 phases to this fight. In the first phase, he's going to send out this shield of his that you have to deplete the health of. His main way of dealing damage all these mines on the ground that will gradually deal damage. Unfortunately, the shield is instantly a jerk, and being a little higher up in the ground, as you see, it's coming down, taking a lot of damage from those. You're not doing a lot of physical damage. Still on level 1 to keep this challenge. So he threw his ice cream. He got into the rhythm mixer. And now as he builds it up, now he has the rhythm mixer finisher.
Yeah,
Now,
so he has to mash out either triangle, X, or square, depending on his actually currently lit. And that will just do a lot of damage, as you saw. He does have renewal block, which we forgot to mention, but will actually heal him when he blocks. So even if he gets taken down to 1 health, he get back full health by guarding.
So we defeated the wall.
the wall.
Yeah.
And if he dies to this phase, he's got to do the first phase again.
Yeah.
So the main idea with him here is that this guy's going to be dashing around everywhere. When he stands up, he's got a pretty quick 40 time. So we want to actually draw him into a to get caught in rhythm mixer more and more.
And again, now he's at 1 health. Ooh, he actually, yeah.
That's the attack.
We just bit like when he died to him.
Yeah.
I was wondering, I never saw that in all your practice
Me
runs.
neither.
So did you pay attention? No.
Nope. He's too fast.
Crack that code later.
I guess I want to mention one little thing about Seeker Mine is you have super armor at the opening of it, and it cancels second hit during it. So he has to be a little careful with throwing down Seeker Mines.
Yeah, the other thing is like out style, because again, if they don't complete all the way, then you can fall out of them. Or if he's ever going into a command style with Ice Cream, you're actually, it also gets rid of your second chance and once more, kind of. So you can actually die because you went into or just came out of a command style. So he has to be mindful of pretty much every piece of the UI right now, except for effectively his focus gauge, in order to take a death again.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
We got him this time.
He's not coming to the ground at all.
Yeah, this is the worst thing he can do, because Seeker Mines just won't go up that high.
Oh.
Grab will hold you there until those attacks come out if you don't mash your way out of it.
I think he moved to the other
Yeah,
side.
he did.
It's not a great shield fight on here. Ideally, you'd like to hold on to that rhythm mixer going into the second
Dude, the
phase.
shield.
Yeah.
And then he pushed you away. Oh, man.
So to note, the he's got, it's taking up 4 of his 8 slots. So he's only, and there, you can only put 3 in each of them. So he's only got 12 ice cream, meaning basically 6 usages of rhythm mixer, the finisher. So he wants to save as many of those as he can for the second kill fight.
Okay.
He wasn't coming back to the ground at all. For
No.
that.
So again, we're going to try to get him back behind this pillar and into this little cubby hole to make sure he's going to be dashing in this little area a lot.
I just really enjoyed Biz, and I learned about that attack last night.
Yeah.
They just patched it in. Quite tough enough a fight.
Oh, geez, so lots of dashing around there. And again, the immediate focus is getting into Rhythm Mixer and building up to the finisher. But he also needs to make sure that he doesn't die, so he's got to heal. He has a few Kiragas, but he also has that ability to block if he needs to.
He's
And
spinning around this.
now he's got him in that area, so keep watching that health bar while hits is doing for Rhythm Mixer. It's pretty Dash is out of it, and he's not going to get hit by it, so it's pretty scary.
He has his shield out, so he's invulnerable for a bit.
Yeah, even Rhythm Mixer with its area damage won't do any damage here.
An upgraded cartwheel, like level 4 cartwheel. So as long as he's dashing, he's usually pretty safe within vulnerability frames, but not always.
He flew up in the air, unfortunately. Okay.
A Kyoga, there is a small frame window where
Yeah.
I don't have invincibility.
Is he going to show the haste pillar?
I hope so. I'll walk into it.
So what we're talking about is No Heart can spawn these pillars that have status effects, and they can be either haste or slow. So they can either kind of help you or kind of hurt you. And it's just really funny watching him run around really fast if you get a haste pillar. I don't know if he's going to be cooperative, though.
It's always from wherever it starts, but it is random.
Yep. That was cartwheeling into the wall, I think, into
It
Kiraga.
was. Dang.
Man. What's funny is that I watched him do this fight like 19 times in a row without dying. He was like, yeah, on Aqua it's not too bad. And then yesterday, and suddenly it was ridiculously difficult. Nobody could finish it for like 20 minutes.
Boom. 20-minute estimate.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Speaking,
Sonic call.
which the game has a 25-minute estimate.
Yeah.
So.
The game considers it a challenge to beat in 25 minutes. Which at this point it's looking like it will be.
3-4 minutes.
Also, a reminder while he's fighting this, Sora in the world of Final Fantasy. I want to see that.
Yeah,
I want
extend that
Kingdom Hearts block. Yeah.
Yeah, we already got. We were like below 70 this morning, I think. So that's pretty crazy generosity today, folks. Just keep it up throughout the final day.
Yeah, let's get to that big 100K mark today.
Moved away.
Oh, he came back.
No, he's on the far
Oh,
right. So, it's
so
just,
yeah, it's just the
Oh,
one.
the Express is just closer to him.
He can push you away from the wall as you're using Secret Mines, so they don't hit him. It's really awful.
Saw he hit.
The health does transfer over from one phase to the
Okay.
second, so we'd like to make sure he doesn't enter at 1 health at least. Due to second chance and once more, there's effectively no difference between 2 health and full health.
I guess this time we can explain the why.
Why? Why? I don't watch the cutscenes of this game, man.
Biz, you got this, right? Since I guess these two don't watch cutscenes.
No.
I've never.
So he's fighting Xemnas, Master Xehanort, who game voiced by the late Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson, yeah, right.
Wow.
I meant, sorry.
It's late, everyone.
It's really, I'm really out of it.
The late Liam Neeson.
So, dude,
Dude's alive and kicking. You seen his last movie? He's doing great.
I give up.
Leonard Nimoy.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry that I have been very sick today.
You gotta kill him this.
It's as bad as Paul Kit plays.
Anyways, Master Xehanort's evil, and he needs, his body's old and stuff, so he needs a new body. So he takes Terra's body, and then some other weird crap happens, and he has an wait. He like becomes the apprentice of Ansem or something, right?
Keep going. You got this.
Yeah, so if you've ever seen Star Wars,
He becomes the apprentice of Ansem the Wise, and then that
he has, like,
guy,
amnesia
that
or
guy wants the
something.
darkness to be all up in him, and
Yeah. Which I get.
so he becomes a heartless and a nobody. Xemnas. Did I do it? Yeah.
It's Xehanort's Keyblade almost like the all I'm wearing right now.
Oh.
So
Thanks
this
for
is Xehanort.
making it look easy. You could have just said that.
No, you had that.
Why did you think?
Off chance. Pillar.
Oh, the pillar. Okay, cool. So we get to
Okay,
see.
let him use that attack.
Yeah, we get to see if this is gonna be a slow or a haste pillar. These are
It's
works like
slow.
it's slow, of course. So now he's just
So I'm
cartwheeling in
technically
place.
moving right now.
He's still in a bunch of level 4, but what an epic duel.
It lasts a while. And if you use a shot lock, like within that pillar or out, like with a pillar
Oh,
in between
baby.
you and him,
Get him.
it's crazy.
Get him. Get him.
Dead. All right. Good
I'm glad
job.
we got to see the pillar.
Yeah.
It
It
was
was.
worth it.
It was
Pillar
nice
was
to
awesome.
see that slow pillar. All right, and I think we have one more thing.
Yo,
right?
you beat the 25-minute total time estimate.
We.
What?
Do you want to ask?
What?
Are we doing that?
What the? I meant the.
Oh,
the
yeah.
yeah,
no,
yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, we got.
I got confused.
One last thing to show
Yeah,
you.
This will take a
And
couple minutes.
It'll take not very long time at all.
It's a perfect way to end this run.
Yep. He's
So
gonna
my-
load up.
My level 6
Oh.
file.
Yeah. He's gonna load up a Terra file that's level 6 because he forgot to put on EXP0 one time. This guy.
I remembered eventually.
That's how many things you have to kill to get.
Was around Radiant Garden, yeah.
For a reason, he's going basically to the end of the game again. Now, this normally would mean we're going to go fight Terra. And
Yo, all
if-
3 of them got to be in the run tonight.
yeah, and one, then that's what we would do right now. We'd be
Terra
you know,
gets the best
we'd be
moment,
beating
though.
his
We'd be
final
about
bosses.
right there, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So instead, what we're going to do, funny little thing that could happen.
You
if
call
you-
it.
Okay, fine. This awful, terrible thing that can happen to you when you're doing.
Come on, Leonard Nimoy.
So he's gonna die.
Nice.
He's
You
gonna
mean Liam
die.
Yeah, sorry, Liam Neeson.
Sorry. He's gonna die here and hit retry,
Hey!
and that's how easy it is to crash on
Yeah.
BBS.
And that's why I'm glad Terra didn't win.
Oh, we forgot to hook it up to the
Yeah.
internet so we could submit the report live.
Square, please. Where are you?
Yeah. So thanks everyone. This is Kingdom Hearts
Yeah.
block and.
Woo!